want to go back to the old-timey origins of pizza, we're going to go to the border of Germany and France to this tiny little town, and I'm going to teach you how to make flammkuchen. Flammkuchen is essentially a German pizza-ish. Pizza adjacent, if you will. It's flame cake. That's what flammkuchen means, flame cake. Crazy because it's not cake either. It's going to be fantastic. First thing we got to do is get our crust going. Now, because this is not a yeast dough, there's no proofing, there's no letting it rise, punching it down, all of that. It's essentially 4 ingredients to make this dough. So in here, we've got 2 cups of flour. To that, we're gonna add some salt. Ha diddly do, we're gonna make some dough. And to that, we've got just some olive oil. You want to use olive oil because you want that flavor it's going to give us. And water, little H2O. Keep yourself hydrated. And what do? We mix. You can essentially have this dinner on the table inside of 40 minutes. All right, we're going to get in there with our hands now. Kind of knead it in the bowl until you get a nice consistency of a dough. And if it is a little dry, you can add a little bit more oil or a little bit more water to it. See how this is a little bit dry? I'm going to add just a little bit more oil to it. And then if the texture still isn't quite where I want it, I'll add some water. We are going to be rolling this out in flour, so that's why you want to make sure it's not too dry when you get to that stage. Oh, I think we're perfect. We got a nice wet dough. We're going to cap that off, set it aside. While that rests, let's get the toppings started. We are going traditional with flammkuchen. It's just some bacon and some onion. But you know what? You can top this any way you want. You can even go dessertish if you want and add some apples and a little bit of honey. Would be delicious. And I'm going to cook up the bacon first because we want to render the fat out, because the fat is what we're going to use to cook our onions. All right, while that cooks, let's do our onions. We're gonna do a nice thin slice on these onions because when you bite into the flammkuchen, you don't want a big, huge chunk of onion, just a nice thin slice. I am giving you the base to start with. Make it your own. Mix it up, match it up, however you wanna cook it. If you don't like bacon, don't use bacon, use ham. You could also go full vegetarian and omit the bacon altogether, add some peppers, some artichoke hearts, some Kalamata olives, take it into a Mediterranean field. I don't think you can go wrong when it comes to pizza, so you certainly cannot go wrong when it comes to flammkuchen. Break all those pieces up because you don't want big clumps of bacon. Thank you so much for joining me here again at Annie's Smoking Pot for another video. I, of course, am Annie, and this is my tiny kitchen, big flavors. You know, if it wasn't for bacon or burgers or chicken, kebabs, I could easily be a vegetarian, easily. All right, that bacon looks great. Let's go ahead and get that out of there. You want to leave the grease behind, so I'm just using a slotted spoon to take the bacon out. Don't touch the pan, it's hot. All right, and in go the onions. You want to give them a stir just to get them all coated with that bacon grease. We're not going to take these quite to caramelization, but we are going to let them soften up and brown up just a little bit. You all have seen onions cook, I'm sure, 100 times. So while that's doing its thing, let's get our spread, our sauce ready. That consists of creme fraiche. If you don't have creme fraiche, you can use sour cream. You just want to use something that has about a 25% fat ratio, and the creme fraiche, the sour cream, you want that acidic bite to it. So to that, we're just going to add some simple ground nutmeg. You can use fresh nutmeg if you have it. And a little fresh cracked pepper. And if you're not using bacon in your recipe, if you don't want to top it with bacon, add just a little bit of salt to this just to give it a little bit more flavor. And that's it. We move that aside. Let's get that dough rolled out. We're going to put a little bit of flour down so it doesn't stick. And we're going to knead this up just a little bit because it's a little sticky right now. So just knead it a few times. Dust just a little bit on my rolling pin so it doesn't stick. And because this is flammkuchen, this is not pizza, you want a pretty thin crust. You want that cracker crust texture. Just roll the crap out of it. And it doesn't even have to be a pretty shape, because you know what? It doesn't have to be pretty, just tasty. You just want to make sure it's pretty much the same thickness all the way through. I'm going to show you a little trick now. I'm going to take it, I'm gonna roll it around my rolling pin to transfer it to my baking tray. And there we have it. Before we start constructing our flammkuchen, let's go ahead and get our air fryer preheating to 400. I've set it for 20 minutes. This is gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes, so I'll have a secondary timer going for that 15, but as always, right here, or here, maybe even right here. I never know. It'll tell you exactly how long it took, but everybody's air fryer is different, so just keep an eye on it. To that, remember that delicious spread we made? Let's go ahead and spread that on there. And you don't want to go all the way to the edges, just kind of go right to them. Otherwise, it's just going to like kind of spill over and just make a mess of your air fryer. Plus, you like that little bit of crust around the edge. Bacon's going to go next. You just want to spread them out evenly. Try to cover the whole surface area with these. And now our onions. So as an American girl, I feel like I'm missing a step by not putting cheese on this, but then it wouldn't be a flammkuchen. Hey, our air fryer's ready. Let's get to cooking. All right, I'm gonna get to cleaning and I'll meet you back here when it's done. It's done. Let's take it out and see how it looks. Well, it smells fabulous. Oh my Lanta. It looks, oh my gosh. Oh, I just got a whiff of it. It smells fantastic. It is hot as the surface of the sun though, I will tell you that. Now I've also chopped up some beautiful parsley just to put on top of it. And this, just willy-nilly throw it on there. Doesn't have to be pretty. It's just gonna add a little bit of freshness to our flammkuchen, and green is pretty. My cameraman likes it when I put green things on stuff. Heiliga cool. We've made a flammkuchen. Going in. We're going in, son. I can't wait anymore. Oh, wow. I may never eat pizza again. Flammkuchen all the way. It is absolutely delicious. The onions, the bacon, the parsley, that creme fraiche with the nutmeg, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. As always, thank you so much for watching another episode of Annie's Smoking Pot. As always, description below. Next to the like and the subscribe is the full recipe. Until next time, bye. Dude, take a bite of that. That's really good. Isn't that good?